Hey everybody, this is John Parsons with IntuIdeas. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create overlays for Zoom in a software called OBS. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how that's done. OBS is an open source software. It's available for Mac, Windows, and for Linux. There's the URL. You can download it for free. It's a really handy software. It does a lot more than what I'm going to show you today. It's used for streaming. It's used for recording. A lot of people use it for a variety of video purposes, but I'm going to just show you today what it does for creating overlays. Turn that off. And the first thing I'm going to do before I show you overlays, though, is something that's really important. You'll notice that my skin tones are a little pale. That's because my webcam isn't calibrated. And even though it's possible to do calibration in newer webcams, OBS lets you also do that. So I'm going to select my webcam 1 source, and I can actually configure it. So you'll notice that the white balance is set to auto, and that's a little cool for me. So I'm going to turn auto off, and I'm going to raise the color temperature to a little under 4,000 degrees, something like that. And you notice that my skin tone's a little bit less sickly. You can do this for a number of things, but that's a good use for it if you don't have webcam software that lets you do that. I'm going to confirm that. The other thing I need to show you is that you need to set up your webcam so that OBS can see it. I've already done this with this camera, but I want to do it with another camera to show you how it's done. Again, you create another source, you click the plus, select video capture device, and call it webcam 2. Webcam 2, if I were to use it, needs to have its own source. So I'm going to pick not the 920 that I'm using now, but a separate video camera. I have an older one that I put on a tripod. And as you can see, it's not that great, but it's okay. And it always appears in the upper left-hand corner at the resolution that the camera is providing. So what I need to do to use it in OBS is I need to enlarge it so that it fits the width of my OBS screen and then reposition it so that I can see it. This is what will be sent to Zoom. It's being sent to Zoom right now, but it's not the camera I want to use. So I'm going to delete that camera so we can get on to talking about overlays. Now, overlays are typically things that you use. They're lower third titles, very common term in video, for showing your logo if you're talking about your brand. They can be used for useful information for your audience. They take up screen real estate, so you have to be careful where you place them. And I'll show you how to do a real easy one, which is in text. For a text overlay, you pick a source called text. We're going to call it email text just for fun. And there's a box that will allow you to actually enter that text. And as the other ones did, the overlay will appear in the upper left corner, fairly large. You can adjust the size here by selecting a different font size. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to select a bolder font just for fun. You can see it's quite bold. I can move it around, but it's too big. So rather than go back, I'm going to just shrink the box to the size I want and then move it to the position I want. And that's a really simple way to create a lower third title overlay that you can use for your videos. It's simple, but the disadvantage is it's always white and it's not transparent. So if you're wearing a white shirt or you have a white background somewhere, it's not going to show up. So let me get rid of that one as well. And I'm going to show you how to create a graphic overlay. What I'll do is, well, let me show you what some of them look like. Of course, I've got the logo, but maybe I want to do my company's website and my email. Maybe I want to do another lower third that talks about my work as a ghostwriter. I want to, if I'm not happy with the position of it, I can create another one that's in a different position. So this is a different graphic file that I can place on the other side. But let's talk about how to actually do that. So I'm going to create a new source as an image and call it email new. And it's because it's a graphic, it's asking me where that graphic is. Now I've pre-created all of these images. You can't do it on the fly, but I've used Photoshop or Illustrator or any program that can create an image file, preferably a PNG. And the reason for the PNG is that you want it to be transparent. So I'm going to select this one. There it is. The white background is semi-transparent. And when I click OK, it appears in the upper left, and I can drag it to wherever I want. Now you can see that the part of the video is visible in the background, which is why you want some transparency in your overlays. Now, typically, I would create these and then that would be it. And I'll show you how to create a virtual camera in the in OBS so that Zoom can use it. But before I do that, I want to talk about other kinds of overlays and give you a little word of warning and caution. You can, let me get rid of that and show you a different kind of overlay that I've created. And this is, I have to move aside to do that. This is a website, our homepage, which can be handy if you want to show that while you're talking, but you have no control over that website. You can adjust its size if you want. But it takes up screen real estate that you may not want to give up. There's also no ability to control the buttons. You can't click on the play button in the video. It's basically just the visual of your web source. And so what I recommend instead of doing this, in most cases, is to just share your screen in Zoom so that you can do that. You can do a whole bunch of fun things. There's a video that we created that you can show, but again, it takes up screen real estate and you have to get out of the way for it to show, and there's no sound. So it has limited application, and I just wanted to let you know that. So let's say you've created your desired overlay and you're all set to go. How do you get that to Zoom? Well, on the right-hand side, you'll see something called virtual camera. I already have mine going, so I don't want to click stop virtual camera. But when you're doing this, before you turn on Zoom, you want to click the button that says Start Virtual Camera. Pretty simple, that's all you do. You leave OBS running. You don't stop OBS, but it's running. It's taking the signal from your real camera. It's broadcasting it as a virtual camera. Then when you go to Zoom, this is what you do. You open up the controls for selecting your camera. This is the Windows screen. On the Mac screen, it's under Preferences, I believe. And what you do is look at all the cameras that are available. I don't want to use the 920, which I'm using for OBS because Zoom doesn't like to share. It won't let you actually use it. I have the cheap webcam up there, but you notice the third one, OBS virtual camera, is now available. Make sure you select that. And okay, and that is that. Now that I'm ready, I'm going to stop sharing and show you what. So what you see now is what you'll be showing when you're doing your Zoom session. If you're going to be switching overlays, then I highly recommend that someone else be there with you to be on OBS, maybe on a second monitor, so that they can click and back and forth and you can focus on your presentation. But as long as the overlay helps your audience and enhances your brand, that's how to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this has been really helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at the address below, and I'll see you next time.